Okay, another pretty interesting video. Now we're going to be talking about, I guess, as you can tell by the title, whether or not One Punch Man has fallen off. Now, of course, I've heard a lot of this, especially in my comment section of my chapter breakdowns or even just my regular discussion videos on One Punch Man. And I feel like it's time to, address this stuff because personally, I have a completely different viewpoint to, I guess, a fair portion of the One Punch Man fan base. And I just kind of wanted to, give my own viewpoint on this whole idea of One Punch Man quote unquote falling off according to some people in the fan base. But of course, before we get into the video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new, because if you can't already tell, I'm a pioneer in posting One Punch Man content. And if you like that stuff, then I mean, what else is there to really do? Just click that subscribe button and make sure it's gray. And also, the bell next to it, the bell, just click that as well, because it makes sure you're notified every time I release a video on this amazing series that is not falling off. But anyway, apart from that, let's just get into the video. Now, according to a lot of people, I guess the main reason that they feel like the One Punch Man manga is falling off is the tone of the tone of everything that's happening right now in the manga. People feel like the tone is way too light-hearted. People feel like the tone compared to the webcomic is not as dark, because I'm guessing a lot of guys just like, a lot of the One Punch Man fan base just prefer the darker tone, which I also prefer. Don't get me wrong, I prefer the darker tone in the One Punch Man webcomic compared to the manga, but of course, in terms of the art, I prefer the manga to the webcomic. But of course, art can't carry an entire series. Well, except for One Punch Man, because I feel like even if, One Punch Man is quote unquote falling off, I feel like even if it does fall off or people end up dropping the manga, I will still love One Punch Man no matter what, because the art is amazing. I feel like the characters are really, really well done. I feel like, Saitama as a character especially is definitely one of my favorites in probably manga history or in manga in general. He's not the best character, but he's definitely one of my personal favorites, just because of how he's crafted. Just the whole, I guess, the way Saitama is made is pretty interesting, because I guess the typical superhero in manga or just in fiction does not look like Saitama. Saitama is the complete opposite of what a hero is supposed to look like and act like. So I really like that subversion there. But I feel like the main reason people are really thinking about One Punch Man falling off is just due to Garo. I feel like a lot of people really do like Garo, which is very it's fair enough, because I mean, who doesn't like Garo? I also like Garo, but I feel like people are just really not being patient, because as I've said in many other videos, I feel like people just need to really just wait for one to get to the proper climax of the arc. I feel like we are really very close to the climax, but we aren't just there yet, because I personally feel like Saitama might awaken Garo similar to the webcomic, I'm guessing, because Saitama does kind of push Garo further through awakening after rereading the webcomic. So this technically is kind of my theory, kind of not, because I actually completely forgot that Saitama kind of pushed Garo further in the webcomic and kind of pushed him to a more demonic form or a bigger form than he is currently, or how he was before. But I feel like Saitama might be the person to push Garo to the initial first form of awakening. But in terms of, I guess, Garo's attitude, I feel like the metal bat situation is what really angered some people. I feel like a lot of people just didn't want that whole thing to happen, which I guess is understandable, because Metal Bat actually wasn't a thing in the webcomic. Metal Bat never actually fought anyone in the Monster Association. He was just kind of generally not in the Monster Association arc at all. Now, personally, I'm pretty indifferent about the whole, I guess, Metal Bat versus Garo situation, or Metal Bat and Garo situation. I feel like it's not really it's not necessary for the manga, but I feel like it shouldn't really affect what happens, it shouldn't really affect anything that happens in the manga from then on, because I feel like just because Metal Bat just helped Garo take out a monster that was also an addition to the manga shouldn't really anger people. I feel like it should probably get people more excited, because it just means that monsters like this could just appear in future arcs, and we could get extra additions of some new monsters and just some epic fight scenes. I feel like some people just don't really appreciate that sometimes. I feel like just because something different happens from the webcomic doesn't mean that the manga is straying away from its source material or the manga is falling off. I feel like the manga is just taking a different direction, which is completely fine in my opinion. I mean, of course, there are some things that One Punch Man doesn't do well, and that is pretty rare considering One Punch Man is like one of the most well-received manga series I've come across. I mean, I don't really see any One Punch Man slander or people hating on One Punch Man. I feel like it's just, I feel like the biggest haters of One Punch Man aren't actually, your traditional or typical haters. I feel like it's just from the fan base. I feel like the fan base have such high expectations of One Punch Man that sometimes we even come across as haters when we're not really hating on the series. We just expect a lot more, which I guess is pretty impressive. That just kind of confirms that One Punch Man is probably just one of the best mangas to ever be created. And I feel like I might be, stretching it, but this is just what I feel like. I feel like One Punch Man is genuinely one of the best mangas I've ever read. And of course, this is an opinion, it's not a fact, it's just what I think. But I feel like the fact that we as a fan base are just so critical of the manga just shows how much we love it and how much we expect, or we have such high expectations for the One Punch Man manga, which I feel like is completely fine as long as we don't do too much of that, which I guess I kind of see happening. And I even see some people saying they're gonna drop One Punch. Back of my mind, I know that they're probably not, because I mean, if you're a One Punch Man fan and you drop it just because of one little thing, then I'm not too sure if you really ever liked the manga in the first place. Some people can make rash decisions, but I feel like it's pretty natural for people to drop a manga and then come back to it once they feel like it's getting better, etc, etc. So, and of course, if you drop the manga, then it's completely fine, because that probably means that One Punch Man just wasn't really the series for you in the first place. It wasn't, a type of series that you really liked, or maybe you just kind of just rode the hype of, I guess, the Monster Association arc. But that's completely fine, because I guess One Punch Man are still gonna stay, and etc, etc. And I feel like One Punch Man is just gonna keep getting better from here on out, and I feel like people just need to stick with it and be just a little bit patient with it. That's all I really ask. But apart from that, that's pretty much all I have to say for this video, to be honest. This was a more like chill video. This was like kind of a discussion, if anything, just a straight up raw discussion. I feel like I could be saying this to like literally one person across like a call or something. But apart from that, that's all I have to say. And if you like the video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And apart from that, I'll see you in my